Live stream has started, Sheikh.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على خير خلق الله أجمعين سيدنا ونبينا ومولانا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي اللهم لا سهل إلا ما جعلته سهلا وأنت تجعل الحزن إذا شئت سهلا أما بعد السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Welcome once again to another UCT MSA Arabic class, and inshallah today we'll start from lesson 5, basically exercise 5 on page 38 inshallah. But before we start with exercise 5, let's do a recap of what we done last week. Last week and the following weeks before that, we started with the concepts of Ismul Mu'annath, of the feminine ism. And we said that the reason why we have to know the feminine ism, because the mubtada and the khabar have to agree with each other. And we said that the mudhakkar form of hada will be hadihi. So we have hada and hadihi. The reason for that is the hada will be the mubtada and the thing following it will be masculine. And if we have hadihi as the mubtada, the thing following it will be feminine. So we have hadihi, but the problem is, how do we know if a word is feminine or not? Then we moved on and we spoke about the ismul mu'annath. We spoke about the feminine ism. Now the feminine ism, the points that you have to note there is ta ul marbuta, which is adding a ta at the end of the mudhakkar form of a word, and the letter before it gets a fatha. Like, for example, mithalun, muslimun becomes muslimatun. So we have a mudhakkar form which is muslim, which is a male Muslim. The mu'annath form will be muslimatun. So when we use hada, we will say hada muslimun. And when we use hadihi, we will say hadihi muslimatun. Why? Because the khabar is feminine, therefore the mubtada has to be feminine as well. The example given there is talibun and talibatun. So hada talibun and hadihi talibatun. The second point I mentioned was some words have a separate form for the mu'annath. The example given there, the mithalun, akhun is ukhtun, abun, ummun. They are different words. It's not the same word. Like ibnun and bintun. But we said ibnun, you can give a tamarbuta to it, and you will have ibnatun, which is a feminine form of ibnun. Then the third point we mentioned was some words are mu'annath and does not have a mudhakkar form. And they do not have a mudhakkar form. And we said some words are mu'annath by the ta marbuta, like haqibatun. But haqibatun does not have a mudhakkar form. We have sayyaratun, but sayyaratun does not have a mudhakkar form. It's feminine. How do we know it's feminine? Because of the marbuta. Therefore, we have to use hadihi. So hadihi haqibatun, hadihi sayyaratun. Then we get words that are feminine by nature. Kidrun, we have to use hadihi for kidrun. So it's hadihi kidrun, hadihi shamsun. Both of them are feminine by nature. That's how the word is constructed, is feminine. The Arabs use it as a feminine word. Then we have words that are feminine because there are body parts that are in pairs. Yadun, aynun, rijlun. So it will be hadihi yadun, hadihi aynun, hadihi rijlun. Then the fourth point, we said some words are mudhakkar and does not have a mu'annath. So some words are mudhakkar and they do not have a mu'annath form, like babun, kitabun, and qalamun. They have no mu'annath form. Therefore, we do not make it feminine and by adding a ta marbuta. It will only be hada babun, hada kitabun, hada qalamun. Okay. Then we moved on and we spoke about the dhamir. We said that when we're using the feminine mu'annath form, we use huwa to refer to it. And if it is a feminine form, we use hiya. Huwa for masculine, hiya for feminine. Okay. Then we went on to speak about Lamul Mulk. Lamul Mulk, we said it is a harfu jar. Therefore, the word that comes after it will have a kasra, it will be majroor. So, هذا لمحمد, this is for Muhammadin. But we said we can translate it as belongs to. So, هذا لمحمد can be translated as this belongs to Muhammadin. We done that, Lamul Tamlik, and that's about all the concepts that we covered. And today, inshallah, we will continue from Tamreen Khamsa, exercise 5, inshallah. So it says there, اقرأ واكتب مع ضبط الأواخر الكلمات. Read and write مع with vowelizing the end of the words. Okay, so let's do a recap of what we have to remember when we actually reading something. In this example, we have mubtada and we have a khabar. So a mubtada, let's change the color. Let's make it purple. We have mubtada. The mubtada will always be marfu. And marfu, the sign of it is either a dhamma or two dhammas. And then we have a khabar. Now khabar, we said it will be marfu as well. And therefore the signs of that is a dhamma or two dhammas depending. So we know the mubtada will always, basically in this instance, will have a dhamma because it's marfu, or two dhammas depending on the situation. And the khabar will have a dhamma and or two dhammas if it's because it's marfu. Okay. Then we have the jar and majroor. So any word that comes after jar, harfu jar. So if you have a harfu jar, harfu jarri, then the word after it will be majroor. So the harfu jar will make the word majroor. And majroor word will either have a kasra or two kasras. Okay. So far we will have that as the rules that you have to apply to these examples. Inshallah, as we go further, we will revise the other concepts, inshallah, that you have to apply. But for now, this will be okay. So, Brother Abdullah, are you there?
Yes, Sheikh.
So, Brother Abdullah, can you read for us from 1 all the way down to 4? And those at home, inshallah, try to read it as well and see if you can read it correctly before Brother Abdullah reads it, so that you can see if you understand the concepts. And Brother Abdullah will repeat it twice, and inshallah, hopefully you will be able to apply all the principles and concepts that we have done so far. Inshallah. So, Brother Abdullah, can you read from Raqam Wahid, inshallah, number 1?
Number 1. هذا لمحمد وذلك لحامد. هذا لمحمد وذلك لحامد. لمن هذه لياسر. لمن هذه لياسر. الحمد لله لله المشرق والمغرب. لله المشرق والمغرب.
Jazakallah, Brother Abdullah. As you can see here, that we have hada, which is in this instance, it's the mubtada. And we have the Muhammadin. This is a type of khabar. We will speak more about that, inshallah, in the next coming up lesson, inshallah. وَذَلِكَ لِحَامِلٍ. Again, we have the mubtada and we have the khabar. Number 2, we have liman هذه. And we have again liman هذه. So liman will be in this instance, it will be the khabar. And we spoke about this. The way how we know, whenever we use liman or man, we know that man is usually the khabar and هذه will be the mubtada. And how do we know that? Because when we answer the question, any question usually, for example, if we have the hamzat al-istifham, we have man, we have ma. When you answer the question, you'll find out what it is. So when you have man, when you ask the question, liman hada, liman hadihi, in this instance, to whom does this belong? The answer will be hadihi li yasirin. This belongs to yasirin. Because hada, or in this instance, hadihi is the mubtada, it will be mubtada in the question as well. That's how we know that hadihi here is the mubtada, because in the answer it's the mubtada. Yasirin will be the khabar. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah, it is the mubtada. The mubtada is marfu', and the marfu' because as al, one of its signs is a dhamma, and therefore is hamdu lillah. Lillahi, we said harfu jar, that lam belongs to that lam there in the word Allah. It is majroor, it makes majroor. So the harfu jar makes majroor. So we made the word Allah with the lafzul jalala, the word of majesty, have a kasra. Lillahi, again, at lam there, lillahi made it a kasra. And in this instance, lillahi al-mashriqu wal-maghribu. This is the khabar, and this is the mubtada. Okay. So, alhamdulillah, by knowing these concepts, you will be able to read by knowing the vowels that comes at the end of the words. After harfu jar, because harfu jar makes majroor. If it's a mubtada, it will be marfu, which is either a dhamma or two dhammas. And if it's a khabar, it will be marfu, which is a dhamma or two dhammas, inshallah. Okay, we will do the al-kalimatul jadida, the new words. We've done all of them already, but I'll just go very quickly through it, inshallah. Al-mikwa, two, that means the ayn. Ad-darajatu means the bicycle. Al-mil'aqatu means the spoon. Al-qidru means the pot. Al-baqaratu means the cow. Al-fallahu means the farmer. Al-anfu means the nose. Al-famu means the mouth. Al-udhunu means the ear. Al-yadu means the hand. Al-rijlu means the leg. Al-shayu means the tea. Al-ummu means the mother. Al-thallajatu means the fridge. Al-qahwatu means the coffee. Sari'un, fast. Nafidatu, an-nafidatu, the window. Jiddan means very. Okay, so alhamdulillah, we have completed lesson number 6, and we'll move on to lesson number 7, ad-darsu sabi', the 7th lesson. The 7th lesson, okay. This is a very simple lesson, a very quick lesson, inshallah. So, in this lesson, we will learn a new word, and that word is tilka. Tilka. Okay, some revision. We spoke about before, and we've done this before, ismul ishara lil qarib. Ismul isharati lil qarib. This is a demonstrative pronoun, and it's for close things, things that are close to you. Okay, and it's broken up into mudhakkar and muannath. The mudhakkar form it is هذه, sorry, هذا, and the muannath form is هذه. And this both means this and this, but one is for masculine and another one is for feminine. Okay, we done as well ismul ishara lil ba'id. So again, demonstrative pronoun, and let's see for something that is far away. It's broken up into mudhakkar and muannath. And the mudhakkar form we done, which is dhalika, and the muannath form it is tilka. The word that or the lesson basically is based on this word tilka. So dhalika and tilka, which means that, which is masculine, and tilka, which means that, which is feminine. Okay. Very importantly, again, we have to know the difference of this and that, which is the male, and female, which is the mudhakkar and muannath, meaning this is hadha, which is mudhakkar, and hadi, which is muannath. And that is dhalika, which is the mudhakkar, and tilka, which is the muannath. Why? Because the mubtada and khabar have to match in gender when we are speaking. Okay, so we'll go very quickly through these sentences. Man hadhihi. So man hadhihi, we are asking a question. Who? Hadhihi is this. And we know we are referring to a female. We know it's a female. Why? Because we're saying hadhihi, and hadhihi, it is ismul ishara lil qarib. It is a demonstrative pronoun for something that is close by, but hadhihi, it is for muannath, for something that is feminine or female. So the answer is hadhihi amina too. So we reply by saying hadhihi amina too. Waman tilka, who is that? So tilka, we are again referring to something that is feminine, a female, but the female is further away, because hadhihi is something that is close to you, we use hadhihi. But if something is further away from you, we use tilka. So hadhihi, there are two individuals. So let's say there's a female and a female. This one will be hadhihi, and this one will be tilka. Why? Because this one is closer to you, this is further away from you. And therefore, there were two females. One female was Amina, she was closer by. She is Amina, Amina too. And tilka Fatima too, and this is Fatima. So the one that is close by will be hadhihi, and one is further away will be tilka. So tilka Fatima too. We remember, whenever we have female names, we give one case ending. Hadi tabibatun. Tabibatun means doctor, but we know because of tamarbuta, it's a female doctor. Wa tilka mumarridatun. It is a nurse. It's a female nurse. Why? Because of the term marbuta at the end. Hadihi min al-hindi. Okay, so I just want to introduce another concept, or basically something that you have to understand when you speak about al-jaru majrur. So this example we have, it is هذه من الهند. هذه من الهند means this is from India. هذه من الهند. وتلك من الياباني, and that is from الياباني, okay, which is Japan. But look at this example, هذه من الهند. هذه, it is the مبتدأ, مبتدأ. But من الهند, it is a khabar, but it's a different, there are different types of khabars. This khabar is known as shibhul jumla. Shibhul jumla. It is a phrase, basically, a phrase. Min al-bayti. And the shibhul jumla is broken up into two. There are two types. The one type is with a jar majrur. Jar majrur, which is basically the harfu jar and the ism majrur that comes after it. Okay, so a jar, like fi, examples will be في البيت. So the jar will be في plus البيت. وفي البيت. So this whole thing will be known as a شبه الجملة. And the second one is it's a ظرف. And a ظرف comes after ظرف is مضاف إليه. You see that مضاف إليه. That's a ظرف. Whatever comes after ظرف will be مضاف إليه. So example will be, we done this تحت المكتب. We done this example. تحت, we say تحت is a ظرف. تحت plus مكتبي. Okay. Under the تحت المكتب. Under the desk. Okay. So this whole thing here is known as a شبه الجملة. Why? Because it's a phrase. It's a phrase, and all of them are شبه الجملة. So شبه الجملة, it is form of the مبتدأ, but it's a شبه الجملة because it's not an entire sentence. It's a phrase like في البيت and تحت المكتب, and therefore we call it a شبه الجملة. هذه من الهندي. هذه is the مبتدأ, and من الهندي is the خبر. But the type of خبر is شبه الجملة. This خبر is made up of a شبه الجملة. So just remember that there are only two types of شبه الجملة: the jar ومجرور, and the ظرف and the مضاف إليه comes after ظرف. Remember, the ظرف will normally be مضاف. The ظرف here will be the مضاف, and whatever comes after it will be the مضاف إليه. But when we come to it, inshallah, we will speak more about that. But I just want to introduce it to you now, so that you know that whenever we speak about شبه الجملة, we know exactly what we are speaking about. We jar majrur or a ظرف, and the word that comes after the ظرف. Okay. So in this instance, we have تلك ممرضة. We spoke about that. هذه من الهندي وتلك من الياباني. So هذه, this, something is close to you. So there's two things. The one is closer to you, من الهندي. The thing is closer to you is from India. So this is India. وتلك من الياباني. And that thing, which is a feminine thing, is from Japan. Okay, so let's say you have two things. ساعة, ساعة means watch, but it's a feminine word. And سيارة, it is a car, which is a feminine word. So you will say هذه سيارة, and you'll say تلك ساعة. So this is a car and that is a watch. Okay, هذه طويلة. طويلة means tall, but remember it is feminine because of the مربوطة. وتلك قصيرة, short. Again, it's feminine. Someone is short, but feminine short. Why? Because it is feminine due to the ta مربوطة. من هذا? So when we say من هذا, we know that من here, whenever we see من, we know من is the خبر and هذا is the مبتدأ. هذا حامد. هذا حامد, the مبتدأ and the خبر. Okay, I mean the خبر gets two dhammas in this instance because it's مرفوع. ومن ذلك, again من ذلك, the خبر and the مبتدأ. ذلك علي, that is Ali. So remember, ذلك is a masculine form of تلك. أتلك دجاجة. أتلك دجاجة, is that a chicken? So دجاجة is chicken. We've done this before, chicken. لا تلك بطة. No, that, because بطة is feminine, we say that, we use تلك. بطة is a duck. So لا, no, that is a duck. ما تلك, what is that? تلك بيضة. Again, we're saying تلك because we know that the thing we are speaking about is feminine. This is a feminine thing. This is a بيضة. This is an egg. So تلك egg. Again, things that carry things usually are feminine. Like an egg carries whatever it is, whatever is in the egg, and therefore it's feminine. It's just something we will see with the words when you do the words, that generally things that carry things are feminine in Arabic. Okay. هذه سيارة المدرسين. So we have the مبتدأ and we have the خبر سيارة المدرسين. وتلك سيارة المدير. تلك is referring to the سيارة. Again, هذه refers to the سيارة as well. But this is closer to you. So we'll say هذا and تلك. While this is closer and this is further. It's closer to the text and further away from the text. Okay. So هذه سيارة المدرس. This is the car of the مدرس, the teacher. وتلك سيارة المدير. And that is the car of the headmaster. الساعة عباس هذه. Is this the watch of Abbas? لا هذه ساعة حامد. No, this is the watch of Hamidin. So مبتدأ خبر they have to match. The مبتدأ the خبر they have to match. Okay. تلك ساعة عباس. That again feminine form of ذلك. That is the watch of Abbas. ذلك ديك. ذلك ديك. That is a rooster. وتلك دجاجة. And that is a chicken. Again, you see the deacon is closer. Sorry, ذلك. Both of them are far away basically because both is ذلك and tilka. It's all far away from us, and therefore we use ذلك and we use tilka. ذلك for masculine and tilka for feminine. And that brings us to the end of the text, and we'll go on with the tamareen, the exercises, inshallah. Brother Abdullah, are you there?
Yes, Sheikh.
So inshallah, I'll ask you to read Iqra Waktub. Again, just remember the concepts, the mubtada. Think of dhamma, two dhammas, because it's marfu, the khabar. We again think of dhamma, two dhammas. Then the mudaf. If something is mudaf, we think of dhamma, kasra, or fatha, but there's only one of them. So we think of one. So the mudaf will have one thing on them, one case ending, and the mudaf ilayhi we think of. Mudaf ilayhi we think of either one kasra or two kasras. And things that comes after ism majroor. So the ism majroor, the thing that comes after ism majroor, we think of a kasra or two kasras. This is things that comes after the harfu jar. Anything that comes after the harfu jar is ism majroor, we think of kasras. So try to apply this in whatever Brother Abdullah will be reading, inshallah, now in the Iqra Waktub, read and write. So if you apply that, inshallah, you will be able to read the endings. Remember, we have to be able to read the endings correctly. Place the vowels on the endings. So by knowing if a word is a mubtada, we know we have to give him a dhamma. If it's a khabar, we give a dhamma. If it is a mudaf, we only give one case ending, depending on the sentence. If it's a dhamma or kasra or fatha. If it's a mudaf ilayhi, we know we will give a kasra, either one kasra or two kasras. If it's ism majroor, meaning it comes after harfu jar, we know we have to give it kasra as well. So one kasra or two kasras. If you apply this, inshallah, you'll be able to read this correctly, inshallah. So Brother Abdullahi, can you read fast, inshallah, from Raqam Wahid all the way to Raqam Sab'ah? And you can repeat it twice, inshallah. So those at home will try to read it on their own, and they will then see if they are reading it correctly by listening to Brother Abdullahi when he recites. Brother Abdullahi, you can go ahead, inshallah.
هذه مدرسة وتلك جامعة. هذه مدرسة وتلك جامعة. ذلك حمار وتلك بقرة. ذلك حمار وتلك بقرة أذلك مسجد لا تلك مدرسة أذلك مسجد لا تلك مدرسة هذا جمل وتلك ناقة هذا جمل وتلك ناقة هذه مدرسة وتلك طالبة هذه مدرسة وتلك طالبة هذا كلب وذلك قط هذا كلب وذلك قط هذا بيت المؤذن وتلك حديقة التاجر هذا بيت المؤذن وتلك حديقة التاجر.
Jazakallah, brother Abdullahi. I'm just writing all the things down here so that you can see that I'm applying the concepts that we have learned onto the text here. So you can see that the mubtada and the khabar, and all of these things are getting the dhammas, as you can see with the kha on top of it. And you can see here, I was busy with the last sentence, raqam 7, the 7th one, هذا is mubtada, and baytul mu'adhini, because it's mudaf, we see it only gets one case ending, as you can see there, and the mudaf nilay will get a kasra. Wa tilka is the mubtada, and hadiqatu tajiri, again hadiqa, it is part of the khabar, but it's a mudaf as well. So the mudaf, because it's the khabar, it will get the dhamma. It's mudaf, and the mudaf nilay will get a kasra. Okay, so this is the at-tajir mudaf ilayh. So you can see that we're applying the concept, and we'll be able to read this without any harakat, and we'll know when we put a fatha or dhamma or kasra. As we go along, we're learning the new concepts, inshallah. Okay, we will do this very quickly, inshallah. So what is happening here? This is a very good exercise, inshallah, to do in your breakup rooms. So this is tamreen raqam 2. This is exercise number 2. Ashir point ila al-kalimati al-atiyati. The coming words. So point to words coming. Bism al-ishara lil-ba'id. So we done ism al-ishara bil-ba'id by using ism al-ishara. We spoke about this, lil-ba'id, demonstrative pronoun for far. So this is a demonstrative pronoun. Ba'id means far, for the far, things that far away. And those are dhalika, which is the mudhakkar form, masculine, tilka, which is the feminine form, mu'annath form. Okay, so for all of them, we have to either say dhalika, or we should say tilka. If it's a feminine thing, we say tilka. If it is a masculine thing, we say dhalika. So we have dhalika and tilka. Remember, it means that something is far away from us. Also remember, ways to know if something is feminine. Firstly, by the ta marbuta, or by the nature of it, or if something is a body part that comes in pairs. So remember those 3 things. Either it has a ta marbuta, you can see the round ta, or by its nature, it's a feminine word like bintun, just feminine, shamsun qidrun, or it is a body part that comes in pairs, inshallah. So if any of those 3 comes, we're going to use tilka, and for the rest we will use the lika. So brother Abdullahi, inshallah, you can go ahead and fill in the blank spaces dhalika or tilka from 1 to 20, inshallah. So brother Abdullahi, you can go ahead, and those, I don't try to do it before brother Abdullahi mentions it, to see if you are able to identify if it's dhalika or tilka. So brother Abdullahi, You can go ahead.
ذلك not ذلك. And تلك تلك ذلك أب ذلك أب ذلك قلم ذلك قلم تلك ملعقة تلك ملعقة تلك عين تلك عين ذلك حجر ذلك حجر ذلك قميص ذلك قميص تلك قدر تلك قدر تلك نافذة تلك نافذة تلك بقرة تلك بقرة ذلك مكتب ذلك مكتب تلك ناقة تلك ناقة ذلك مهندس ذلك مهندس ذلك مؤذن ذلك مؤذن تلك ممرضة تلك ممرضة ذلك سرير ذلك سرير تلك حديقة تلك حديقة تلك طالبة تلك طالبة ذلك جمل ذلك جمل تلك بطة تلك بطة.
Jazakallah, brother Abdullah. MashaAllah. It was quite a lot, but alhamdulillah, we got through that. And if we applied those three things, we would have been able to answer them correctly or fill in them correctly, like brother Abdullah has done, alhamdulillah. With that, we will end off here, inshallah. Inshallah, before we end off, we will do the al-kalimatul jadida, which are the new words. So we have al-mumarrida, two, which is nurse, but it is a female nurse because of the tamrabuta. Al-hadiqatu, which is a garden. Al-battatu, which is a duck. Al-mu'adhinu, which is the mu'adhin, basically the one that makes adhan. Mu'adhin, the one that makes adhan, basically. An-naqatu, it's a she camel. And al-baydatu, okay, an-naqatu, the she camel. And al-baydatu is the egg. And here it says asma'ul ishara al-qarib, the demonstrative pronoun for those things that are close. Al-asma'ul ishara lil-ba'id, demonstrative pronoun for those things that are far. Okay, so hada Muhammadun, this is Muhammad. Hadi Aminatun, this is Aminatun. Dhalika Hamidun, that is Hamid. And tilka Zainabu, that is Zainab. And with that, inshallah, we'll end off. And next week, inshallah, we'll start with the new lesson, Ad-Darsu Thaminu, the 8th lesson, inshallah. I'll end off. وآخر دعواهم الحمد لله رب العالمين والسلام عليكم ورحمة